Hey everybody, it's Brickwaffle again, and we're back on Ark Survival Evolved on the Block Farmers server, and today we're going to do a little bit of building and a little bit of talking about plans for the future, and we're going to check on some of our dinos out here as well. So we got Rex Luthor here. He's doing pretty well. Let's check on him. Probably needs... Has he leveled up again? He has not, but he's got plenty of meat on him, which is pretty awesome. Looks like somebody's actually been out with him pretty recently, so that's good. Getting some meat. We got two Allosaurs now, Allie and Allie's sister. That's good. I'm getting a pack bonus there. And I think today we want to play with the tree platform. So we have one over here, and let's see, where did we leave territory? There's Tara Reed, one of them over here. Territory, there we go. Way over here. So I want to take a quick peek at that tree platform because I think that's the one. Let's get, let's actually work on wait on territory right now. I think this is the one that we built as kind of a test with a tap over here. Very early on when we moved to the Redwoods. Yeah, that's it. So what I want to do today is play around with building a wall around this and maybe even a roof on it, and then having a couple of openings here. I've seen some posts about getting this to line up just right with railings, and then you can put walls on it, and then with walls you can probably put some sloped roofs and see how they interact. So we're going to go craft a few things. We're going to check on the storehouse here and see if we have enough materials. We might have to run over and actually gather some things. That's all right. If we got to do that, no big deal. So let's pop down right here, and we're going to run into this thing, materials, and where is our wood? And what do we need for, actually, let's see. See, for railings, wood, thatch, and fiber. So let's get 200 fiber. Did that actually work? I can't tell. Probably not. Do that one. There we go. So there's fiber. Let's get, and how much is it? Thatch. So we have 200 of that. We need 3. That's, okay. Let's just get a couple hundred of that. That's 5, 20, 40 of those probably. That's probably good. And then we need some wood as well. Which one of those did I just open? That's the charcoal one. That's some other random stuff. Hello, sleepy guy. It's Nibah. There's some stone and crystal. I'll bet, you know what though? I'll bet the wood is at the lumber yard. Let's grab this and go over here. Where's our lumber yard? Here we go. Do we have regular wood stored in any of these? There's wood planks, firewood, wood planks, and wood planks. So it looks like we need to get some regular lumber here. So I'm going to go out and gather, chop down some trees, get a bunch of stuff together, and I'll be right back with you guys in just a minute. Alright, we're back. We're right above the little town we have over here, and I have some wooden fence foundations, and I think this is going to be really dangerous, but I think what we can do is get this to line up just on the edge of this thing, and it's got to go partway into that one, like that, and then these should line up when we snap them, but they don't. Interesting. Okay, so we might have to place a lot of these manually. Let's see how that goes, and then this one over here. Oh, come on, line up. Huh. So those don't line up very well. That's unfortunate. Can I... There we go. No, not the tree platform. Just the fence foundation. It would be very bad juju if I knocked the whole platform off. Fence foundation. There we go. So it looks like we're going to have to play around with this a little bit to get it to line up just right. Now, I thought I had read that you could do that and it would snap at the same angle. Let's try something else here. Let's try this. Maybe we can line it up just a little bit better than that. Just a hair better. Oop. Try that. And then does this snap? No, it really doesn't snap at a good angle at all. Alright, so fence foundation, not platform. Yep. Okay, and let's try this again, but real carefully. Just a little edge out there. Okay, so actually let's bring it in just a little bit from that. There's that one. And that one. And what about that one? If we line it up that way, does it go pretty close? That's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it goes pretty close to that beam. There's a little bit of... I could do a little bit better than that. Let's try on this side. Let's see. Okay, so we don't have to get nearly as close to the edge this time. That's good. Let's bring it back just a little bit more, like that. How close is that? So, okay, a little bit better. And then we're going to bring that around and that around. That's pretty good. So there's going to be some gaps right here at each of these corners, and that's okay, because I think what we want to do is leave that just like so. And then we got to get that to line up just right. And that one. And so I'm going to go all the way around this. And while I'm doing this, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what we're planning to do with Ark and other games and the channel and all sorts of stuff. So Ark has by far been the most popular video game I have ever played on the channel. You guys really seem to enjoy that. However, we've had a lot of problems with getting this game to work right for us. You guys have seen some of that where things are just randomly disappearing, dinos are disappearing. We've done our best actually to make sure you don't notice that too much. So if we lose some things, occasionally we'll just spawn them back in when dinos go missing or when building pieces just disappear. With the last patch, every single bit of furniture inside the main house disappeared. That was a huge pain in the butt. If you guys are playing Primitive Plus, or even Vanilla Ark apparently, you've probably run into that too if you're playing on a server, a dedicated server. If you're playing single player, I guess some people experience that, some people don't. But, you know, it is an early access game. I know, I want to be fair to them, but it is really frustrating when you spend, 20, 30, 40 hours playing a game, and then everything you've worked for just randomly disappears for no reason. So we're thinking about playing some other games instead of Ark. And right now we're kind of deciding about whether we want to do that. Some people still want to keep playing Ark, some people are ready to switch. What game would we switch to? And so we're looking at a couple of things, and you guys please go down to the comments and let me know, A, whether you would keep watching if we did a different game at all, and if we did, what other game would you like? Our top contenders right now, we've got a couple of things we're keeping an eye on. If I can get that to line up just right, there we go. So one of them, this is one I picked up on Steam about a year ago, and it's still in early access, but it looks like it's a lot further along, is Empyrean Galactic Survival. And that one is similar. You got harvesting materials. Instead of taming dinosaurs to ride around, you actually have to build your own vehicles. And the structure building and whatnot is just insane in terms of what you can do with it. You build like a basic block, like here in Ark, you build a wall, it's a wall. In that, you build a block, and then you can right-click, and you get this huge menu of all these other shapes you can do with it. Concave walls, convex walls, sloped walls, thin walls, big wall, all sorts of stuff. And then you can paint everything too. So you can do a lot with shape and color to make your stuff look really interesting. And it's science fiction based. You start out on a planet and you can actually build big capital ships. You can go to other planets. There are still dinosaurs in it, along with alien creatures and things like that, so that's kind of a plus. And it's a science fiction game, which I guess this technically is too, to be honest with you. But it feels kind of more primitive, especially with Primitive Plus mod on. The other ones that we're looking at are something more medieval fantasy, and so we've looked at a few of those. We're also trying to keep only to we're trying to limit this only to things that have dedicated servers. And what I mean by that is not something that you have to like go host a server and then just open it up to other people, because we want something that's online all the time. We don't want one person to have to be online for everybody else to play in the Block Farmers. So that does rule out a few games which were kind of promising. But what it leaves is a couple of things. We've got Worm Unlimited, which is, I guess, a game that used to be an MMO and then went kind of to having a standalone server model, which is kind of an interesting idea. And that's a very deep, very technical, apparently very grindy medieval fantasy game. It has some pros. Being a hard game is fine with us. We play Ark. It can be hard at some points. And it's medieval fantasy, so you get kind of low tech level stuff, but you also... Do I have exactly enough of these? Oh, that's awesome. It's low tech level, but there's also other fantastic elements to it. Of course, the other one is a competitor for that called Life is Feudal, and that one, I guess, starts out as a dedicated server game like Ark, but also is going to become an MMO at some point in the future. And I'm not really going to do any MMO videos on this channel ever, mostly because I'm not really playing any MMOs anymore. I played WoW for a very long time, kind of done with that. But I might do some other stuff in some point in the future. We'll see how things go. So let me know what you guys think about different games. Go check them out on Steam. They're all Steam games. They all have the ability to be hosted. I'm kind of leaning towards Empyrean just because I like the idea of being able to build vehicles as well as just building bases and whatnot. And that seems kind of neat to me. But we're going to leave it mostly up to the other Block Farmers. But also I want to know what you guys would watch. If you guys are not interested, then there's really no point in me making videos about another channel, or about another game rather. I'm not going to make videos about another channel. That would be silly. So for now, I think I got to gather up some more materials, and then we're going to go up there and build some walls, and we're going to leave some of these open so there's ways to bring the Pteranodons and whatnot in. Probably means building some rails as well, some walls, and then we're going to start on the sloped roofs too. So I got a lot more gathering to do, and I'll be back with you guys again in just a minute. All right, so we're back, and I've got some rails in place, and I think these we're going to leave mostly open. We're going to see how this works so that we have places to fly our flyers into when we come back over here. And now what we need to do is bring some walls down, and I think, if my math is right, these are 12 segments. They're each 3 long, so we need to have this with that way. Yeah, perfect. So this is going to be 27 to go all the way across. Oh, darn it. So I should have thought about that. Okay, so we're going to need to be careful about how we place these. I'm going to be 1 short now. But I do have a few more in here. So we were going to keep doing all of this all the way around that way. Yep. There we go. Like that. And we're going to do all the way around. Now see, we are going to leave these little openings here. And I'm not sure if I can actually walk out through there. I cannot. So that's going to be okay. This is actually going to be sort of our windows anyhow. So we can kind of see out every side. I'm going to play around with this. I think it's going to work. So you're going to have to bear with me here for a little bit. But what we want to do is have kind of a covered hut. And I think that this is going to work out just fine if I can get this done and then some sloped roofs so that they all kind of lean in towards the center of the tree. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And I know that there's going to be gaps. I know that's going to... So it's going to bother a few of you, I'm sure. But I think it's going to look so cool that when we're done with it, it's not going to matter. Oops. Oh, I did it again. Now I'm going to be too short. All right. So there's that. Okay, all the way around. There we go. And now we're 1 short. Okay, but I have enough over here. I think I have 27 more on territory so we can go 2 high with these. Which means we're going to be just a little short on that. So this one should be much easier because you can't get them the wrong orientation when they're stacking up on top of existing walls. That's super quick. And that's going to be plenty of room to bring over just about anything onto here. All right, there we go. And we're just 1, oh, and now we're too short. Okay, so I need to make 2 more of those and then a bunch of sloped roofs and then we can come back in. So yeah, these are gonna be pretty good. This is gonna be nice and safe. Looks like unless I did some of these a little bit off, and they are hand placed, so they might be. They shouldn't be any way to fall off. You can't fall off this railing either, which is awesome. So this should be nice and safe up here when we're all done. All right, back again in just a minute. All right, so we're back, and I want to try a couple of things with you guys. So we've got our sloped wooden roofs, and these aren't going to snap on their own to the top of this. I don't think that's going to work at all. But what I wanted to try was to see if wooden ramps would do it, because it doesn't really matter. If that works... No, it looks like they're only going to slope down, and they need a foundation support, and this doesn't count. So that's not going to work either. So I think what we're going to have to do, and this is unfortunate, is build a lot of intermediate pieces. And that's going to be a big pain in the butt because we're going to have to build some other walls so that we can put these things out so that we can put the sloped roofs up so that we can take those things back out. So I'm going to do a lot more crafting and come back again in just a minute once I've figured out how to do this. All right, I've discovered a problem here. We can't place any roofs on this because the tree platform counts as no kind of foundation. So even if we build up these little temporary things here I was trying to do, so that we could get the roofs to slope inward here, it's not going to work because there's no foundation support. So unless I start placing foundations or pillars or something like that, it's just not going to function for us. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I think that means that we are going to just have to leave this with some different kind of shaped walls. So something like, you know, kind of pointed walls over here like that, but that's going to look a little odd if I do it that way. Got to do something to make this look interesting though. So I like this, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So let's do one of these like this. I don't think this is going to work. Let's try. I don't have any right facing walls, do I? Sloped. That was a left one. I think that was a left one. Let's do a right one. And bring that up over here. Now if I do these, I don't think it's going to let me connect anything in between them. That's not right. Yeah, because there's no snap points for any of that. So that would just look weird. And if I go the other direction, let's just do this again. Break that one. Break that one. I don't think these are going to look very good either, because then effectively what we're doing is we're going to have like a bunch of little partitions. Let's see. Wait, why did that break that one? Oh, I broke the wrong wall. All right. Come on, territory. Let's fly out of here for a second and see what this is going to look like. Let's see if we can imagine what that's going to look like if we had a bunch of those. It's going to look like a bunch of sides of little houses. So that's not really ideal. I didn't think about that. So we might have to play around with doing some foundations, which is going to look really weird. I wonder if we can even snap a foundation to these walls. I don't think we can. And we don't have enough stuff to make a foundation. So I'm going to have to do some more experimenting, but it looks like we might be going a little bit different in the way we're going to do this. So let me keep playing with foundations and railings and whatnot, and I'll come back again in a minute when I've got something that we're going to use. Alright, so I did some reading, and it looks like the best way to do this is actually to use another tree platform. And then I've got to figure out where to snap this one, because it doesn't look like it's going to want to snap anywhere near where we are currently. I think these are pretty big gaps in between them. So if I do this, it doesn't want to snap anywhere else at the top of that tree. No ground or snap point. It just doesn't want to go any higher than that. So I think we're actually going to have to use this current platform as the roof and go under this one. So that's going to be a little tricky. Let's go down here. How far down can we go? There. Okay, so then what we can use is we can make this upper one the roof and this lower one the floor. And it's not very high off the ground, but it's going to be high enough, I think. So that means we have to redo all of these rails up here and all of these walls. I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep the fence railings, and then I'm going to put a bunch of walls in down there and see what that looks like, because I have a feeling that's going to be too much. I don't really want one that tall. I think that's going to be too many platform sections. Because that's what, like 10 or 12 walls, I think, tall. Times 12, that's like 144 walls. That's going to just be a big, ugly wooden, whatever the dodecagon, I think that's right, 12 sides. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong on that. But I think that's going to be not what we want to do. So, I think my plan here is not going to be doable. I think I'm going to leave the lower platform down there just because that's a lot of materials, and maybe we can put some more taps or something in there at some point in the future. But for now, you know what? I think we're going to leave that alone, and maybe we'll come back to that at some point in the future. Okay, so the other thing we wanted to do is, now that we have something at least started, while we're kind of pondering how we're going to finish that up, let's go ahead and grab this, and we are going to then see about, we got our Diplodocus over here. That's kind of cool. We need to repair our crossbow. So let's come into the smithy and see if there's enough materials in here. So we had this one from the previous episode with the Rex taming that got all broken and beat up. Let's see, can we repair it? Fantastic, we sure can. Let's get rid of that stuff. 3 wooden fence foundations. We're going to leave those in the smithy for now. And we're going to put this machete back on. There we go. We might be able to go tame something else. But for now, I want to go see about taking out this T-Rex again and getting some more stuff killed. So let's take Rex Luthor out here. Where is our behemoth gate? It's all the way over there. Oh man, these things do not turn well. There we go. Are you stuck now? No. Okay, good. So we have all the meat we're going to need for a while. Let's go out here again. Well, let's just jump off, and we're going to close this door. It's easier for us to jump off and then jump back on than it is to turn the the T-Rex around twice. Alright, so we're almost back here. Come right in through the behemoth gate. Come on. Oh, no. He's going to get stuck on it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're going to come right back in here. Jump off of him for a second. Take a little damage. Oh, no, we did all right. Close this gate, and then we're going to go park him with the other dinos again. So we just got a couple levels. That's all right. We're not trying to go crazy with this right yet. We're just trying to get a few things here and there. Spend a little time doing a few different activities. All right, so there we go. Rex, you got a ton of stuff on you. We got all that narcotics on you still. We got hide. Let's take some of this stuff so we can put it away in the interior area. Primitive metal hatchet we're going to leave. Not going to worry about those things. They're going to decay. We got so much meat on him from different kinds of meat. Let's get that stuff. Some feathers, some... What was that? Pelt. Chitin. More hide. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So let's go put that away. Put some things back in our storage area. Right in here. Let's see that. Where was pelt and hide? Is that in this one? I think that's right. Okay, so that stuff goes in there, and it looks like keratin and chitin go in there. Let's go ahead and do the pelt too, and then all the feathers go in there. That's looking pretty nice. And then what we need to do is take some of that meat over to the smoker, which probably should just take him over there to do that. since he can carry a lot more than I can. But the meat doesn't weigh too much. Let's see how much we can get. Take all from inventory. Are we encumbered? We are. Okay, so we're not going to worry at all about the prime meat. That's fine. Actually, you know what? Sure we are. That weighs next to nothing. I'm not going to worry about the spoiled meat yet. Or the feathers. Not going to worry about the berries or the hatchet. Or the other feathers that apparently we missed again. Or the other spoiled meat. Or the narcotics. How are we doing on weight now? Can we move? We can't move. Man, he's got a lot of weight. Let's see. What about... Let's just do all the meat first. I wish you could sort things. Poultry? Is that right? Yeah. I think what this does... Yep, transfers all items with your current filters. That's all the poultry. Can we move now? We sure can. Fantastic. That was a nice change. I don't remember which patch of Ark they did that with, but when you do a transfer all, it respects the filter that you have set up. So that's really, really nice. Okay, so preserving shed. We've got some things in here, some dried tobacco, we got some spark powder. I think what we need to do is cook all this stuff up first rather than using it raw. And this thing is the preserving shed. This is the preserving campfires. We need to find our big bonfire somewhere and cook all this stuff. There's a big bonfire. I think this works now. Let's take a quick peek in here. Big bonfire? Yep, sure does. We don't care about the spoiled meat or the old cooked meat in here. Let's take that for a minute, and we need to find some of that spark powder and cook all this stuff up. And actually, wait. Don't we have a grill somewhere? We have a primitive grill, I think. Take that back. Where do we have our grill? Is that in the house? Maybe it is. Let's go check in there. Oh, no, I know where it is. It's out here by the little market area. There it is. Hey, Dodo. Here's our primitive grill. Perfect. So we're going to transfer everything that we can. That's all the fish and all the meat, and it's going to start up the grill. That's going to cook a lot of stuff for us. Awesome. What about the cauldron? Can we cook stuff in here too? That's advanced consumables. That's like the cooking pot. I don't think we have anything else we can use. That's just a cupboard. Hand mill. Baker's oven. I don't think we can bake anything in here. Fruit press. Alright, so there's going to be a little bit of waiting on cooking these primitive steaks, but it goes pretty decently. It says it cooks it in bulk, so I think this is going to be kind of like the industrial grill with the gasoline and regular vanilla Ark. So if I'm right, that's going to do it in batches. I don't know what happened there. It looked like stuff disappeared but didn't cook. There it goes. Now it's cooking up. So that's not going to be too bad at all. Alright, so I'm going to cook up a bunch of this stuff, and I'll be back with you guys again in just a little bit. Alright, the last thing we want to experiment with today is the pontoon bridge. So let's throw a few of those in there, and we're just going to type in bridge. There we go. Craft 2 of those. And these are pretty pricey in terms of how much wood they take. 75 wood planks, 20 iron ingots, and 4 cementing paste. Cementing paste isn't too bad, but they also don't weigh very much, which is pretty nice. And then we want to go down and see how these work. So I want to go to the little lake down there, but I'm going to take territory just in case we get into some trouble with all those terror birds. Let's see. Let's see about landing down here. So I don't actually want to use them here, but I want to see how they get placed. I think what it looks like is that they float to the top of the water no matter where you are. But it looks like you can just kind of place them in the water no matter what, and they just float. You don't have to have any foundations for them, but you can't place them on land, which is kind of interesting. So we need to find a couple of places, that's kind of cool, where we can place these things down. Let's fly up and take a quick look back down here. I don't think we want to do much with this lake. Although maybe right there at the waterfall we want to put a little bridge across so that we can walk across there without having to worry about falling over the edge. I think that's going to look pretty good. So we might have to make a couple more of these, but I think that's going to be the goal over here. So can we do this? Except there's going to be a little cliff right there, isn't there? You know what? That's okay. I think that's going to be just fine. And then they do snap. So these are kind of pricey, but it's going to look pretty neat, I think, to get these all done. Yeah, then we can walk all the way across here. I hope that if we get these all done, then we'll be able to jump up here, but I'm not really sure about that. So for now, I think that's going to be it. Just a little dock over the waterfall. We're going to play around with these at some other point. That looks a little strange, actually, with the water going over there. And I think, like I said, today I'm going to wrap this up a little bit early. It's going to be probably a week before the next Ark episode comes out. Let me know what you think about the idea of changing games down in the comments. If you have anything you want us to look at, or if you have any preferences or suggestions, please let me know. Of course, if you did like today's video, please be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out and supports the channel. If you really enjoyed it, then make sure to subscribe for more videos. And as always, I've been Brick Waffle. Thank you for watching.